Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell. In this video, we're going to look at the differences between the operations of a manufacturing business and the operations of a service business. There are three key differences that we're going to go through. You may learn some others as well in class, but these are the three key ones that we're going to go through today. So the first one is that a manufacturing business transforms inputs into a tangible output. So the outputs are tangible. Now, I've got the example there of the iPhone. Once it's produced and a consumer purchases it, it can touch or handle the actual product. However, with a service, they transform inputs into intangible outputs, meaning that they can't be touched or handled. So the example there, and you guys are in class, receiving an education, you can't really physically touch that. You can't touch the education that you are receiving. Another key difference is that because they are physical products, manufacturing products can be stored and sold at a later date. So if a business manufactures, let's say, 700 goods on a particular day, they only sell 500, they can store the other 200 and sell them at a later date. However, services can't do that because services cannot be stored. I've got the example there of an aeroplane. So the flight takes off with empty seats. Those seats have evaporated. They cannot be stored and sold at a later date because services cannot be stored. The final difference that we're going to go through today is that with a manufacturing business, there is very little customer involvement in production. So the example I've got there is of a car manufacturer. If a person decides to, or a consumer decides to purchase a car, they are not down at the manufacturing facility watching it being built or being involved in the production of the actual car that they're going to purchase. However, with services, there is often a high level of customer involvement when the service is being delivered. So with a facial or a massage or anything like that, those kinds of services, the customer needs to be present in order to receive that service, and they are obviously heavily involved in the delivery of that service. So there are some of the key differences between manufacturing and service businesses. It's important to always be thinking about both service and manufacturing during this entire area of study. So when we're looking at operations, no matter what you are studying in operations, it's important that you study both a service and manufacturing businesses, or at least thinking about that when you're learning the content as you go through this part of the course, because you are not sure what case study you are going to get in your SAC, whether it be a manufacturing business or a service business, and that will obviously alter some of the answers that you actually deliver because the operation systems are quite different for service and manufacturing businesses. So I encourage you to always be thinking about, even if you are studying a manufacturing business on a particular area of content, think about a service and then vice versa. So the three differences that we went through today is that tangible v intangibles, manufacturing produces tangible goods, whereas a service produces intangible services. Manufacturing businesses can store their goods, whereas services cannot store theirs, and there is a high level of customer involvement involved in a service, whereas there's low customer involvement involved in manufacturing businesses. So for questions, activities and more, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.